Death by Die. Welcome to the next episode of Let's Get Critical. We'll be talking about episode 99 of Critical Role Season 2. This is Big Kev Acker Vandalworks, and hopefully, who's finally learned to introduce himself.
Jarrod or Bush.
Hey, a little better that time. Get it slowly. Yeah, we'll get it one day. So, first of all, 5 fucking years of Critical Role. How cool is that?
Yeah, it doesn't feel 5 years, does it?
I know. It is.
Think back to that original little studio they were in, where people ordered them pizza and stuff when they're first there.
Yeah. Let's try and get 1,000 followers on Twitch, and it's like, just piss all over that now. So Sam gives us quite a poignant little song. Definitely worth having a listen to that. It's fantastic. The little sprinkle to kill had me in stitches though. It was like no humour throughout the whole thing, poignant, and then that little bit of humour was just
it broke up because otherwise it was quite a emotional thing, and that just kind of broke up a little bit. It was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a new poster which I know someone has ordered.
Yeah, I got an email saying it's on its way or something.
It's beautiful. For anyone who hasn't seen it, I'll try and get like a little picture of it up as well. It's literally everyone from the first 2 seasons, plus the Darrington Brigade, which I thought was really cool to have on
so
there as well.
So I need to get frames for both that and the old Vox Machina one I've still got to put up at some point. And I'll have to get the Mighty Nine one at some point as well.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah,
and then find a place to put them.
Yeah. For anyone interested, they're on the Critical Role shop on the UK one. So,
yes, thank God for the UK shop.
Yeah.
Save me a fortune.
So the episode starts. Ford and Orly are dead. It doesn't take long, thankfully. Kadusha
Travis also took me a second. Travis isn't at the table.
I know.
And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah. I think that's just kind of like a long-standing tradition that if you're dead, you kind of got to move away from
the table.
But
it finally dawned on me, the fact that you could come back with a new character. There might not be Ford in this episode, depending on how it went.
I was pretty safe about it, I gotta be honest. I was if
the dice roll didn't go well.
Alright. It is true. Because Kadusha's getting 11, and I believe the first one to bring someone back is a 10.
I was literally reading the rules a minute ago, and for quick resurrections, you don't need to do the whole trying to lower the DC by giving offerings. So I think it's just a straight 10.
Yeah.
So
because you had your normal spellcasting modified.
Yes,
so
but at their level, I think they're +7 or something, or +8 at their point, aren't they? So basically, don't roll in that 1 and you're pretty good.
Yeah, that is the general thing. So Caduceus gets Ford back up. I like the way they describe this as well, with the vines coming from the diamond, and then they sort of all kind of wrap themselves around Ford's chest. They start decaying and then turn to dust, and it looks like the wound is partially healed, and Ford starts breathing. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, they each had their own little unique flair, didn't they? On the
it's
nice little touches.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously in contrast, Jester gets Orly back. She rolls an 18, and I think he described it as the cloak almost kind of encompasses them both.
Yeah.
And then the bagpipes of Orly, because if you don't know, Orly is a total with bagpipes kind of built into his shell, and he's a bard, so that's how he kind of does his magic and stuff. The bagpipes blow a little as he wheezes, and he starts coming to as well. So that was pretty cool. This bit, I gotta be honest, I was just
this could just be
this?
Dun dun dun.
I know. I thought it was gonna be something to do with the sea creatures. I gotta be honest. But the party here is Dimension Door. Well, I say Caduceus here is Dimension Door. And then there's someone tries to put a bit of influence over the party, and most of them seem to just freeze.
I think all but is it Yasha and Caduceus or something like that?
I think
Caduceus
so, yeah.
saved because he was doing his prayer of healing at the time.
Yeah. It's a woman, an elf with robes, and her hand is out extended, and she kind of understands then that they were attacked and that they've kind of dealt with it, and she's like, okay, so she drops the paralysis, and they start getting a bit of a conversation, and she introduces herself as Lady de Rogna. that is a name we've heard a little bit.
We heard it quite a while ago. It would have been Felderwind, wasn't it?
Yeah, and she was one of the figures in Felderwind when I think they were going to get Yeza.
It was the point of the chair, and
yes.
I was half waiting for the question of the chair to come up in their conversation.
Yes. Would you like to take a seat on a chair?
There's a chair mysteriously placed.
Yeah. Yeah. So she asks what happened, making sure that the party aren't responsible for Ford's wound. Veth shows a minor illusion of the enemies, and I like to think the swords are now just like short swords, and they don't look like the falchion.
Yeah, it felt like. To be fair, I'm not sure actually how a hexblade works, because obviously you have a link with the being. So it may be just when the creature dies, obviously, because you make something your hex weapon. So I guess if you die, because someone else can't use it, I don't think, so it might be because of that, or it may just be some trickery
very possible. Yeah, that was pretty good, I gotta be honest. But Derogna asks why the creatures attacked you, and Veth says, maybe it's just like where they are, or because the Mighty Nine are famous pirates.
Play it off a little bit.
Yeah, she rolls a natural 20 for deception, which, even though is -2, is still pretty good. So they kind of get away a little bit with that. Derogna says that she's been made aware of the Mighty Nine, and the Martinet Ludinus speaks highly of them. They ask what her business is, and she says she travels where she pleases, which was kind of intriguing as well, which leads up a little bit up to a little later, I think.
I feel like we shouldn't trust her, but I kind of really like her at the same time. She feels like that sort of character. Like, she's gonna be big later on, I feel.
Quite possibly.
She's a bit like the equivalent of, remember when they were over in the in Jorhas, and there was that nutty orc scientist in the tower.
Yeah.
She feels like the equivalent across the sea kind of thing, like the kind of one who just kind of does what she wants.
She's probably very similar, to be fair, like someone who researches a lot and things. She does offer them chance of work in the north if luck in, which is what I was thinking of when it says that she travels where she pleases. Yes. I think she's a little bit of a rogue in that sense, where she kind of enjoys the service assembly for what it is and the offers it gives her, but at the same time she's a little bit Caleb thanks her in Zemnian, thanking her, and she respects that.
I always forget when he does that accent when he's speaking in Zemnian, and he throws me off for a minute.
I really like it when people do have that little thing where if they recognise someone from the same place or something, they do sometimes talk in their own language. It just kind of adds a little bit of almost like a safe feeling when you recognise something from home, almost, especially somewhere out in the ocean like that. So bitch is the next I've written down for this, where Bo is just like, she just right. in the back of the in the dimension door, and Bo is just like, bitch. So the creatures then all sort of turn into,
some of them.
Oh yeah, well the main ones.
It's the lesser ones, weren't it? That stay normal, and it's like the main ones that turn. Yeah,
the lesser creatures stayed in their kind of fish form sort of thing. I think they were just kind of like servient beings in that sense. But the other three that were doing a lot of the damage to the Mighty Nine, one of them turns into a 40-something slightly balding man. Looks like a fisherman. There's one elven and one Goliath, which is very intriguing, I gotta be honest.
I always get intrigued when a Goliath gets mentioned, because they're not very common.
Yeah, I said the Goliath as well was really gaunt and sallow, and the idea of like a really slim, kind of almost haunted looking Goliath.
When someone says gaunt and sallow, that almost means like it feels like something's been drained from them. I almost picture that kind of like almost like mummy type of thing, where like it's almost skeletal. Yeah,
it's very interesting. So they're very intrigued about the orbs and whether they may have one. So Bo hacks in to see if there's anything in the body.
Yep.
They open up the chest like a bug and fillet back the skin.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Jester gags a bit, even though she's done a couple of things like this before.
She's not normally up close with it, is she? That's the thing.
I suppose. But she doesn't mind hacking away with her axe, does she? Let's be fair. They roll a 25 for medicine check. The smell is unique. They say it smells like your organs would smell, but like almost briny as well, which it makes me retch a little bit. I gotta be honest. I hate that kind of smell. Yeah, the skin inside as well is tinted as if it was like its other form a little bit. So I think that might just be from being underwater a little bit and losing some of the pigmentation.
Potentially, yeah. it just seems like there's some sort of like transformation-y thing that goes on. It's almost like, because obviously the other ones, I wonder if it's a time thing that you stay as the other ones.
Again, it might be another thing when it comes down to when they die.
Yeah,
like
it's also
that,
it very much seems like a cultist type of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much.
As we'll find out in a few minutes, won't it? Because isn't there like a tattoo or something?
I believe so. Yeah. They don't actually notice that till much later.
No. But I remember that's because that always links in with the cult thing. I wonder if the tattoo almost does. Yeah. It could either be a mark or it could be something that almost like triggers it. It
could just be an offering to try and mark yourself out as someone who could become more favoured later on.
Yeah, almost like this is what is the link between him and Uk'otoa. And then that is how it almost transforms and gives the power.
Yeah. They're trying to understand the hierarchy, perhaps, of how these people work, but they're not sure. And then they start wondering if Ford has the orb still inside him. 2 orbs have been placed. There's no eye on Starrazor after Ford kind of whoops it out. Jester says she can locate item if she sleeps on it, but Cad has it. And Jester just like, good for you. Really, oh well, screw you, Betty.
It's like a competition, isn't it, of who can be the more useful player.
And he actually does sense the presence of it there, but he cannot locate it.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was just in him, but you couldn't almost like see the actual thing, wasn't it? It's if it was part of him.
Yeah. They mentioned there's discoloration around the tonsils, but no. I like the fact that Bo mentions that he had wet dreams for months. So, Jester mentions maybe bringing Essek over to help with the orb. Essek, sorry. Maybe it's a bit premature to do that yet. See what they say. Ford asks if the bodies are cursed. Jester starts feeling over Ford. Starts tickling him a little bit. And he's a little bit like, ooh, okay. No, it's okay. So, doesn't feel anything odd, though. So we find out that the other bodies are still sea-spawn. Only 3 seem to have returned to their form. And I like the fact that Matt mentions that they're elevated.
Yes, which is it's like the higher cultists. It almost seems like minions versus actual people. Yeah. Jester
gives a phone call to the Traveller, which is always funny because the first question is the Asterisk is like, it's not my rules.
Yeah. You almost see Matt like go, oh wait, I know I actually have to follow these rules. It's not just a general conversation.
He almost kind of rubbed his hands at the same time as well, though, where it was just like
you saw the moment where he was like, oh, this is commune, there's rules to this. You saw him like almost go, oh, I'm sorry, Laura, in a way, but this is gonna be fun.
But he does confirm that a greater restoration may well do the deed.
Yes.
So Ford did wonder at this point as well if there was any diseases on the swords that might make him ill, but all seemed alright. And then Veth made a joke about peer pressure. Bless. So Caduceus then casts Great Restoration with Residium because they don't have much in the way of diamonds, which was really cool that they've got Residium.
Well, they've had it for the Residium for ages, haven't they, now?
Yeah, I like the fact that Matt said that it can be used instead of any other component, basically, for a spell.
It's
which
really
is
cool.
Good. Yeah. So, I'm not going to go into the whole description of how this happened, but Ford's vision darkens, but there's a bit of a warmth to it than Caduceus is concentrating. There's some bright pink fungus that kind of appears, and basically it like Ford ends up feeling like there's this massive like really burning pain in his chest that slowly makes his way up, and
gallons of seawater, wasn't it?
Yeah, gallons of seawater. That makes me want to retch again, I gotta be honest.
Also, puking up gallons of seawater onto your deck of the ship surely probably isn't the best thing. From our playing of Sea of Thieves in the past, we know.
To be fair, on the top deck, you're going to have a lot of water coming on in storms anyway, so it's designed to kind of let it swish around and sort off back into the sea.
Probably not the best, though.
The orb does actually come out while he is spewing and thumps onto the deck. Caleb then puts it in the Vault of Amber.
Widowgas Vault of Amber.
I'll just say Vault of Amber. I'll call it Knott's Vault of Amber. Screw you.
Wasn't it Ford? Ford got first dibs having one name.
It could be. It could be Ford's Vault of Amber. Maybe it should depend on whoever's got something in there at the time. You know.
I wonder how big it is because they've got all the clothes in there, and they've got that.
Well, maybe they should call it the Widowgast's Wardrobe of Amber. So Ford does say he feels gallons lighter, but he seems to feel okay. No physical difference. And he almost gets a sense of well-being knowing it's kind of removed from him as well. So he makes himself look Jester, just to confirm he's still got magic abilities.
Yeah, I thought he had a plan when he did that, and then it was just like, oh, okay, no, it's just
yeah. Marius gets a bucket to swab the deck, despite it being raining, being told so, and he grievously wounded a guy. So, Veth asks about greater restoration on everyone else in case everyone swallows a lot of balls. This bit was really cool, where Kadusha starts decomposing the bodies.
Yes.
I'd love to see this in video form of just this furball going up to people and just turning them into multicoloured.
Maybe one day if we get an animation of Mighty Nine.
I know, it'd be really good, wouldn't it?
I'd love to see Cad in proper animation.
Yeah.
I think he'd be the best looking one. Just because of the colours and stuff, it would look phenomenal.
Yeah, he looks cool on the intro, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget the intro because we're so used to it. It's maybe that one moment of the episode that we kind of look away just to check something, and it's back then. Yeah. So they start looking for tattoos and marks on any of the sea spawn and some of the other creatures, and they do find the one a little later on of the guy. I think Bo discovers that one.
Yes.
The sea spawn, they don't have tattoos. They just have heavy gills, very old and mutated, far from human. They do notice on the leader a chest of a familiar yellow eye tattoo. And I love this little sequence here where Veth asks Ford if he's got one, and he's like, "Oh, I've got one on the between anus."
Yes.
They held my ankles high, and Matt's face for this. I'll try and get a screw grab of this because it was hilarious. And Ollie just Matt does the Ollie voice. He's like, "You might want to back down on this." It's fucking amazing. So Jester washes her arm after messing around with people's bodies and stuff. And they decide to sleep on mid-deck in Leomund's tiny hut created by...
I liked the touch of the alarm underneath.
Yeah.
That was cool, because that's the only way in and out without anyone being seen. That's a cool little touch. It was clever as well.
Yeah, definitely. The gun deck has some damage. 3 cannons have scratches from the blade shield, but that's about all they've got to worry about. So the next morning is still raining. Ford asks about the Amber Vault. Caleb has a necklace that keeps him hidden from people, so he cannot be scryed on, which is really cool. So I think that's how he kind of managed to avoid the Cerberus Assembly for so long.
It's just an uncommon necklace. I think it's just protection against detection and something else it's called or something like that. I can't remember the exact name of it now.
Yeah. So they decide to use Speak with Dead to interrogate the elevated, should we call them?
Yes.
So Caduceus decides to look like a Vandica, which I thought was weird. It's unlikely that they'd know her, but that's fair.
I understand the thought, because she was almost hinted at being a champion.
Yeah. But it's just unlikely that they'd know her.
Very unlikely, but...
Yeah. It's worth a go, you never know. It's neutral, I suppose, if anything, in there. It's better than him just looking like himself that he's just had a fight with him. So, so they start asking some questions to the female elf first.
Right.
Who gave you your mission to find the orb? You could tell her. Was she a willing follower? Always. Did power come from you or something else? And said it was a reward for allegiance. Were you following orb or the one that carried it? Yes.
Yeah.
Very vague answer there. Matt grinning, as usual. They start asking the Goliath a couple of questions. So I don't know if you know, but Speak with Dead is you get 5 questions to ask a dead person, and they kind of answer
don't
as
have
vague
to tell the truth.
Yeah, this is why Caduceus kind of altered himself to look like someone different.
Yeah.
To hope that they might be a bit more open with that.
I'd have made myself look like one of the fish creatures, just as afterwards.
Yeah. Well, I thought they would have looked like, if they got up to the elf, they would have looked like the leader guy and the Goliath. Yeah. And then when they get to the leader, they could have just looked like,
they could have technically looked like the fish version if any of them saw them.
Yeah. So, so they start asking the Goliath questions. Where do disciples of Yugatoa congregate? Wherever there's water.
Yes.
He's not wrong. What is the name
someone's
of the
swimming
bearer
pool
of
out the back. You go out there one day.
Yeah.
Sat in it.
So he asks name of the bearer of the orb, and he just says maybe. which is Yuka demands honesty. Name the orb bearer. They reply with, I don't know your face. I say what I wish. How long have you followed Yuka? Not long enough. That was an interesting one. It almost sounds like they've only recently found them and they kind of regret not becoming follower before.
Well, this all probably started when Ford basically went no. Because up until then, Ukito probably was like, okay, done deal. I've got 2 champions basically rescuing me. They've done 2 out of 3 locks. We're about to finish.
Yeah. The last question they asked the Goliath is, has Yuka been released? And he replies, soon. So that's kind of scary. Hopefully they won't be released soon, but we'll see. So Jester then decides to speak with the leader. Caleb casts Fortune's favour on her. She disguises herself as the Alpha Woman with a deception check at 23. They really fucked up your body. That did not go well. Do we do now, leader? I will speak with him for guidance. Then she says, I've got hit in the head. Follow the green guy or the orb. And he replies, one and the same. Jester tells him that the orb left a fjord. And he replies with, find the betrayer. Where to take the body? To the final seal. Yuka scared of green guy, what the most? I can't contemplate Yuka being scared. Which was also kind of terrifying in a sense.
To be fair, he's a demigod basically, only like there's probably not much he's afraid of apart from whatever trapped him in the first place, which is I assume the gods back in the day.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, so they have a little chat about the answers they get. So Clay thinks Yuka calling Ford the betrayer means that they'll be back.
It's a cool title as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Bo asks Caleb about work for Derogna. Has a little chat about that. I think she's kind of wondering what Caleb's kind of plan is here and what he wants to do. Because does he want to kind of get back in with the Service Assembly, or is he still good not knowing them too well?
I don't think Caleb fully knows yet.
No. Fjord summons the sword to see if there's any orbs or anything. He can cast like invisibility and not true seeing, is it? That's a different one.
Yeah, true sight.
He's got true sight, is he, with the sword?
With the sword, I think it's true sight.
Does he trip from it as well?
Or is it see invisibility?
I know he's got see invisibility, but I'm not sure.
I think it is see invisibility because Deuces has true sight.
Yeah.
Can't remember. There's a combo of 2 he can do, ain't there? I think from Star Razor. So I can't remember.
That's not good.
True Seeing's a 6th level spell, so I doubt it's that. It's got to be see invisibility.
So Clay wonders then about maybe suggesting to Vesta Rogner about Yuka, but I think most of the party are just like, no, that's going to screw up the peace talks potentially if they think there's going to be some sort of massive demigod swimming around in the sea. So they do plan to talk to Rogner next day about potential work though. So they make a nice little dummy of Ford to burn his captain's quarters, and Frumpkin keeps watch as a monkey. Ford says to Garland, did you kill anyone? No, surrender your bedsheets to make the dummy. So, and then Jester uses some of the magic paint that she's got, where she can actually use like a certain amount of paint in it to like create an object that magically comes.
Whole thing.
Yeah. So she makes a creepily realistic Ford face for the dummy, which I just imagine is the Buster Ford from the set of Talksmark.
Oh god, that thing is terrifying, isn't
it? Yeah. Caleb asks Yasha if she's okay, as she's been quiet for a few days. She's kind of just like watching the storm, keeping tabs, making sure nothing else comes aboard, and then she kind of asks how Caleb is, and he says very good. Talks about Ford's dream about swallowing the orb. Does that make sense to Caleb that he dreamed it and it became so? Obviously talking from her experience of dreams. Not happened for Caleb, but Yasha does mention she has some strange dreams, and Caleb says that she seems more steady. So, despite being on a boat, Yasha making a bit of a joke. She kind of apologised for it, and Caleb's like, it's not bad, you know. He kind of tries to make her feel a bit at ease. So, they both kind of say as well that the group feels special. Excuse me. So they both kind of like have a bit of a nice little okay moment just to kind of like round off that day. So they go back to sleep again. Don't look over here. What was that bit? During moments of sleep, giving way to darkness, experience memory of life leaving you. Oh, this is the bit with Ford, where it's the first sleep after getting rid of the orb. The memory has an element of green, a blossom that washes away the anxiety. Yeah. You can't see the face, but you feel it comforting, a recurring nightmare of abyssal depths. Now nice to have a warm motherly embrace on the other side. Believe she would have caught you, it's comforting. So I think it's one of those things where maybe if Yukotoa would have tried again, maybe the Wild Mother would have tried to intervene again a little bit or something.
Oh, it definitely is. Believe she would have caught you almost feels like if you had have died or if Yukotoa had gotten you, there would have still been a potential redemption or something like that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the Wild Mother, I assume just kind of her domain is the wild. So even like the ocean, she probably has some sort of influence in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you'd hope so. I mean, with it being in the wild and stuff, it could be anywhere.
We'll find out when we can read the book tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. So the next morning is day 7. The storm seems to have subsided quite a bit. Caleb's on the deck with Bo, and he just decides to cast Fly.
Yeah.
So they do a bit of a Mary Poppins across to the service assembly. They
visit Jarrod.
Yeah. They touch down. Bo does a little backflip, and the martinet claps. Kind of. Just, okay, well done. Bravo. What do you want? They just wanted to check in on them. They ask if Derog knows about her. She visited the martinet, and he offers to fetch her from. He sends her a message, and I like this bit where Bo is like, "Oh, you got 5 more words," and oh yeah, that's right, you're not Jester. So sending messages and stuff.
Yeah.
So they ask about what they want to discuss. They want to know what the service assembly plans are regarding the negotiations and how the Mighty Nine fit in. They said there'll be discussions between the 2 lead ships of each side anchored together. Derog is to keep an eye on the perimeter as well as the 99. So I was expecting them to want to get a bit more involved. I was expecting them to try and get like really close and be like, oh well, we've got to be there for this.
I feel it's that they set it up. I almost feel like Matt's hinted at this a bit. Like at the end of the day, they're not actually aligned with anything here. Yeah. So it's almost. I feel like Matt was almost in. It's probably better for you to stay out of it and not screw anything up. It felt like Essex was like, Essex hinted at it a couple of times. Like it's best if we just stay out of this.
Well, I know as well from Talks Marketer that Matt did say that he was incredibly surprised that they wanted to even be there for the negotiations.
Yeah, it felt like a thing that they could have just gone to Travellercon and started setting up.
Yeah, because that kind of scared me as well, where Matt was like, oh, you want to go there? It was almost as if like, oh, well, something may happen and you're going to be caught up in it, and that could be like, season ending almost. It's like, oh shit, So, so Caleb asks to see the beacon, as discussed, and Derogna goes to say something, but the Ludinus stops her. He allows them to go see, so a couple of Righteous Brand soldiers escort them to the entrance. They mention a little bit about the cannons with the runes, and they say there's brass coils at the edge. There's 4 with 2 on each side. I'd love to see what these can do. Because I remember there was, where they lost Yasha earlier in the campaign. There was that one outpost they went to, and they had some sort of magical cannon up there, but we never got to see it, I believe.
No, I can't remember exactly, to be honest.
There was like that outpost, where they slept and not discovered that her drinking flask had gone, and she started going a bit crazy.
Oh, yes.
And there was that one place where they had like that massive doorway that was kind of like leading into the thing, and there was some sort of magical cannon. I'll have to have a look back at that maybe. But so I'd be interested to see what they've got. If they've got like ready set runes, or like is there spells already set in them, or is it something that enhances spells if you cast?
I'm almost picturing it as almost like it shoots a fireball. That's kind of what I'm thinking, that sort of
potentially.
Thing. Like some sort of equivalent of that is what it kind of feels like, some sort of explosive spell. If it shoots disintegration, that'd be good.
Oh Christ! I was wondering, because of the brass coils and stuff. I was wondering if it's almost like
Tesla
it kind of like
cannon-y.
takes. Yeah, I was wondering if it almost soaks up the magic you insert into it and it fires
potentially,
it.
So you must use like a spell slot or something.
Yeah, so you can almost it's like a like something like not a vessel, but like something that you use.
Well, it feels almost like the mechanic at the end of campaign 1. Do you know the spell book that's used to defeat Vecna? Yes. That Scanlan had to insert a certain amount of spell into, didn't he, for it to even be able to read it?
Yeah. It could well be like that. So maybe it's just like something where you just like you do like a thunder wave at level 5, and because it's like a focus, it does it at like level 6 or something. It adds like a level or something to it.
Actually, you probably don't want to do a thunder wave because that's point blank.
Depends who against.
If you're doing it for a cannon, but
well, you never know. But yeah, so they go into this doorway. There's no handle, but Martinet and De Rogna pause and they put their hands up on it and do a little
in typical
movement.
Cocky as all hell mage people.
Yeah, the door then vanishes. Inside is a beautiful interior, but doesn't look like it's the inside of a ship at all. So the Martinet asks if they'd like some tea. Lifts a finger and some tea is poured. Yeah, it's just like Jedi mind tricks by ear and stuff.
Basically,
just being able to like move things around, which is really good. Bo makes a little joke about the deck of many things in regards to a powerful magical artifact and them being on a ship. Yeah, it was actually like fair play to British. This I thought was cool as well. I really like this bit with Bo doing her thing where Caleb goes to drink some tea and Bo is just like puts her hand on his arm and she drinks it and sees if there's anything poisonous in there potentially first because she's immune to poison.
The fact the monks are immune is so insane.
I know it is huge. But yeah, I really like that. It's almost like a James Bond kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of like I can take the hit. Like it don't bother me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm surprised someone hasn't done like a James Bo. Kind of like artwork, like almost like the barrel of a gun, but then have Bo at the end of it or something. You know, sipping a martini.
Have fun.
Flurry of blows not stood. Yeah, could be. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. My art is not good. So yeah, De Rogna is there to make sure the transition goes smoothly. Hoping that there's some future alignment can go ahead of projects between the Dynasty and the Empire. Not expecting much to happen, but you know they gotta hope. Which I thought may tie into Vess De Rogna asking them the Mighty Nine about future work in the North, whether it reverts to her wanting to know more about the Dynasty or...
Was the other beacon, that was up north, was it? The one that was like archaeologically dug?
That was near Uthadurn. You know where... is it Rainy?
Yeah.
Was travelling to take the Cleys back.
Was that
it's
north?
Almost in between there. Yeah, it was quite north. It was north of Rexentrum, I think. So you know you got Rexentrum, but just north of that I think was the Grove where the Cleys are from.
I was looking at the actual what's it called, the Wild Map rather than Taladoro. I took at the wrong part of the map. Yeah. Oh right, yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
So yeah, so that could be quite interesting if it's something to do with that or if it's like other things. Yeah, there basically don't need to know basis in terms of that though. But Bo does an insight on the Martinet's reaction to them asking about the work because he doesn't know much about it, and she gets a natural 20.
Yeah.
And there's whispers, which is really nice. So the Martinet says they are there for a reason, snaps his fingers, and a small chest appears with a bit of smoke, and the lid opens to show the beacon.
Well, because I thought they were going to look at this before they left.
Yeah, I think they were going to.
Yeah, and then I think they just forgot, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think finding out one of your friends is kind of a betrayer to his own dynasty is going to take your mind off for a little bit, perhaps.
That was on the boat, though, they found that out.
Oh, yeah, but that was before they left, because they still had a day of preparing.
Yeah, because before they left, they made the deal that they were going to be able to look at the beacon.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, you're about Essex.
They made the deal
So
first, and then they found out about Essex and stuff. So
yeah.
That was kind of like took over their thing. So yeah, I think at this point Liam kind of has a couple of bad rolls, and Laura is like, oh well, blah blah blah. You just went off on your own, and Liam is like, well, sometimes players go off on their own.
Oh, yeah.
kind of jest into it. Excuse the pun. That Laura's quite right. It seems larger than the one they saw before, and it isn't the one they saw at the sanitarium.
Nice.
Which is interesting.
New.
So Kayla places on the table the Martinet magically moves as a tea set. He inspects to see if it's been modified. Seems fine more you can see after rolling a 15. So it's probably fine, as far as we know at this point. It's probably okay, but
vroomf into it then, doesn't he, and gets his fragment of possibility.
Yeah, well, he casts Detect Magic as well, just to see if it is what it is, and it does seem very overwhelming.
Doing a magic.
Oh yes, Dunamancer. He then puts his hand on it to get that the fragment of possibility.
Make sure it works, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I like this bit that where Matt mentions that he's seen Marusha's bodyguard face before, but it's a story for
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay.
This could be on the next talks, isn't it, with them?
Yeah, probably like the next fireside chat or something.
Yeah, potentially.
So, Beauregard obviously goes into like a bodyguard kind of stance by her, but the two mages, De Rogner and the Martinet, they don't seem to really care.
In the end, they're all as smart, if not smarter than Caleb, so they're gonna know exactly what he knows.
Yeah.
All they probably don't know is actual Dunamantic magic. That's probably the only thing that Caleb has on them.
Yeah, that is something weird. I think if he started showing that in front of them, they'd be a
He's
bit
kept
more,
it very quiet when he's in the Empire, thankfully.
Yes.
He's almost Dunamancy in this is almost the equivalent of guns for Percy, isn't it? It's that sort of thing of this could like massively change a lot of the world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At the end, they've been able to manipulate fate if you give that to common people.
Oh God, can't you
like
that?
Yeah, Jesus Christ! But like, life is strange.
That bed in office would be inundated. Sorry. Caleb probes the Rogner a little bit by saying he's surprised that she's letting it go. Sort of like, obviously we know that he knows all that's going on with Essek and the Service Assembly, but obviously they don't know that he knows that. She says she's doing what must be done. The prisoners on the Blue Heaven. Caleb says he's confident the talks will go well. And the Martinet ends it with the victorious peace talks. And then we go into the break. So, come back from the break. Bo and Caleb return to the Ball Eater, again doing a bit of a Mary Poppins, flying across the sea. They tell the rest of the Mighty Nine what happened. The party joke that fishermen attacked. Bo says that Martinet seems to dislike Rogner, which I think comes
the whole thing with the work, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, because that was what she whispered, wasn't it? It was when they basically found out that she'd been offering on work. I wonder if Rogner's doing something that's not necessarily like against the Martinet, but it's something that he doesn't necessarily agree with. So I wonder if the reason she doesn't care about letting this one go is potentially there's another one, like the one that was dug up, potentially.
Yeah.
That she's definitely like, I've got another one, I don't really care.
Yeah, she's like, I kind of let you think that I'm like, it kind of sucks that I can't research it anymore, but, we've done what we can and we've got to give it away and, whatever. But obviously she's like, yeah, don't give a damn, we've got another one we can play around with. So, Caleb feels like they're all vying for power, and Bo mentions the job in front of Martinet to sow some discord, which I thought was a really good move by Bo. So, the Mighty Nine wonder if Caleb will gain ego, like the Service Assembly, where he says he gets on with Essek and, they want to stay.
There's a tether keeping him down. And stuff. That's the thing.
Yeah. Veth mentions she has a spell she wants help with.
I want to know what it is.
Yeah.
Because I think we all had the same thing as, like, I think this is more Liam than Caleb in the next bit. And, like, because Liam goes, I'm not going to stop thinking about that now. Like, what is it? Just.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really cool little moment. So Jester, I love this bit. Jester stops carpentry. And Matt was like, "Of course, you're Jester."
I'm surprised she even kept that going for that long.
I know. Well, she probably didn't. To be fair, she's probably
like 10 minutes. Then she got on Matey's nerves, and then probably just stopped.
So she sends a message to Tevas, her messenger that she summoned before to send the cupcakes to the hag. But there's no reply, so it looks like his job is either done or he's lost. But she does send a message to the hag.
I went out and she said it, and I was like, this could go so horrifically wrong.
So she asks about whether she got the cupcakes. She said, I did. They were tasty. And then she just breathes really heavy, like a proper.
And do you know what it's like? Oh, she's after them, isn't she? Like,
this next moment I thought was fucking hilarious.
I was laughing like hell.
Yeah. Jester decides she wants to scry on someone. And who does she want to scry on? The Traveller, who gives her the powers.
He's also there for the scries. He shows up.
I was in his stitches for that.
I was wondering if he was almost just going to turn up and go, okay, you ready? And just hold up a mirror showing the two of them together.
Yeah, and Matt does it like the traveller kind of appears. He's like, curious.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's hilarious. It's like that you can't scry on your...
The person who lets you scry.
Yeah.
That does confirm, though, against Bo's thing of, like, giving the power.
Yeah, it does. Obviously, Bo doesn't know that.
No, but...
You know, it's good for us. Good for us. Yeah, so she goes off to have a nap in the crow's nest. The rest of the party go to bed later on. Yeah, and she eventually goes to bed with them as well, which is kind of weird. I just imagine that being like 12 midday, and she just goes up there and naps, and then it's like 9 o'clock at night, and then they're like, "Look, you coming to bed or what?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of day passes, then we're up to day 10, and they do start seeing the Kryn Dynasty.
And the coolest aesthetic moment I think we have had yet, which is as the closer they get, and the sun begins to vanish. And as we know, because the eternal sunlight over the dynasty, and it's like 2 p.m. It's almost like an eclipse. Like they even said later on, is you can almost see the outline of the sun, but it looks like a moon, and everything's dark. The fan art of that will be incredible.
Yeah, the closer they get, it's almost like pure midnight.
Yes,
because if you don't know, drow do not like the sunlight; it weakens them and stuff. So they have magic that will blank it out, essentially. Like in the city,
cool.
Yeah, it's all like a perpetual darkness in the city, which is. Yeah, sounds really cool. Yeah, they start having a look to see what goes on. Ford is impressed with Veth after she informs him that the cannons are loaded and aimed ready.
Yes.
He's very impressed with his little powder monkey. The dignitaries start meeting. They put up some planks across the decks where the talks will start happening. Bo has a spyglass, passes it round, and the one ship is called Everstorm, which is really cool. I think
that was in Undercommon or something, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. It's basically the drows.
It's a really cool name for a ship.
Yeah, the Everstorm. All soldiers are starting to come towards the deck to show power. Yeah, it is. Better than Blue Heaven.
Yeah.
And the Wind of Eons.
Yeah, that was it, the Wind of Eons. Most pretentious boat ever.
Yeah. The ball leader is about 500 feet away from the two ships, so it's not too far. I think 500 feet is one of those distances where it sounds quite far, but it's actually no.
It's not actually, but it's the fact you tend to... In D&D, you tend to almost adjust everything to what like your abilities, don't you? So when most things are 60 feet, you're like, oh my god, that's so many rounds away. Whereas you think, what's that, about 5 rounds of running, which is like 30 seconds. Like,
yeah, that is for me like slightly not off topic, but it is one of the hardest things to visualize sometimes is distances.
Oh yeah,
in D&D, but Captain Tusteth, aka Ford, sells Veth to pack the good powder, which seems to be a sailing ability.
It is one of the abilities that Veth or Sam didn't have a clue what it was.
Yeah, Yasha is just like, I'll join you on the gun deck and hold your hand and stuff.
I think Yasha and Veth are going to be a fearsome duo on guns.
Yeah.
It's just going to... I just picture it as like Yasha constantly reloading him as Veth's just shouting on it, like basically sitting on it trying to set it off constantly. Yeah,
definitely. Ford's having a look around any other ships for any signs of anything. Doesn't seem to be anything going on, but then Desmond Thane steps out from below the deck to see the Mighty Nine. Doesn't want to be close to the negotiation. Yeah. It would be perilous to go due to wards. So Kadusha starts looking at other ships for anything peculiar. This ballister armor, not aim, seems to be a lot of magic uses around about, but no funny business. Caleb checks the people talking, doesn't recognise, and then the soldiers bring up a pair of mirrors. So, excuse me.
It's Skype.
What the mirrors do is basically, it is literally Skype.
It's FaceTime in D&D is what it is.
Yeah. So they do see the Bright Queen appearing on the one, but they can't see the other because it's the kind of like...
We know it's old
their back is towards them.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah. The Mighty Nine start wondering about getting closer to see, but Ford feels they're there for the show. And Essek replies to Jester, "Welcome to politics." She says she's bored.
Yeah.
And I like the way
Jester
they were thinking
is the least political person ever.
Yeah. I know they were saying like Veth was on about like maybe using the boots of water or the ring of water walking in there.
Yes.
To like maybe go over there, sneak over there and find out what's going on, and it's just like
it would go horrifically wrong.
I know, yeah. Every time they were thinking of new things to do to get closer, I was just like, just don't.
There's probably just a ward set in a certain distance around. There's probably an alarm. There's probably dispels. There's probably all sorts of things.
Yeah, any kind of magic would be noticed straight away and acted upon. So Chester, after they seem to finish talking, Chester sends a message to the Bright Queen.
I love the Bright Queen's first reply to this video. She's like, I'm in the middle of a meeting right now, but...
She does not seem happy, but things are progressing as planned, not going poorly yet. So that kind of opens it to maybe the next day will be a bit tricky. She then messages the Martinet. He says things seem to be going...
I thought it was King Dwendal she messaged.
No, she thought about it, but they were like, we don't know him, so we'll ask the Martinet. Yeah, she says, seems things are open to progression tomorrow. Ice broken, no death, a win. So I think they mentioned a little bit as well about how well he replies a message as well.
Yeah.
Which is like,
When you got the spell, you probably, you know it a lot better, don't you?
Yeah. They almost tell Essek about Yukotoa, but not yet. I think if he hadn't been revealed as the person, I think
100%. It's the fact that right now, I don't think you can trust a guy who's looking for power and knowledge about a slumbering demigod in temples. Sounds like I know I want to like him, and I do like him, but I feel like he might prod a bit.
Yeah, without a doubt. So Chester asks Essek to bring some pastries. But he thinks things are a bit too tense at the moment.
On a persuasion?
Yeah, she didn't roll very well at all. He will return to his tower for the night, and Essek leaves, and Liam jokes, counterspell, which I thought would have been fucking amazing.
Just keep on burning them.
Yeah. That'd be so funny. Bo does mention what they should do with Essek, as he is a war criminal after all. Ver thinks they should punish all the Empire folk and then punish Essek. She can't let this go. The night is quiet. The next day, it's as dark as it was previously, still pitch black, and Caduceus tries to bake a cake. That is successful.
Very successful, apparently.
Yeah, makes a truffle cake. It's crumbly and a bit dry, but it's sweet enough.
I love the fact someone said a mushroom cake, and he went, I'm going to try and make a truffle cake, and the others go, they are literally mushrooms. Just Caduceus.
Yeah, Jess's reaction to this was fantastic as well. Where she's just like,
she was hugging Taliesin for like 3 minutes.
So negotiations begin again, and Essek appears a little later on. There's a small flash at the meeting as Ludinus opens a chest. The beacon is removed and handed to Lord Zed and Graf, who is the main... I think he's like the diplomat, didn't he, for the service assembly. He then hands it to the Dust Captain.
The right-hand man.
So Zed and Graf is smiling, confident, as a typical dick diplomat would be. The Dust Captain remains cold and quite blank in her expression. So the Kryn check the beacon, and... they take it away, and some more conversations happen. 2 figures brought to the deck in chains. Vence and Nadine are treated. Did you know him, Essek? Jester asks. He says he sucked, and it is free to see him in chains and not himself. That was kind of cool to, maybe Essek could have been in that kind of position at some point.
Definitely.
Yes.
We don't know much about his past.
There's a horn sounds, and all the boats stand to attention. Flags placed at the start of the negotiations come down, which I think I forgot to mention actually, but at the start of the negotiations, flags were hoisted up to say that the negotiations had started, and now there's new flags replacing them, a deep blue colour, and all he says things seem to have gone well. Someone announces, going back on a couple of little skiffs, I think it was, that all has gone well, and King Dwendal has officially announced that the war has ended. And Ver is like, thank you. Do we tip? The platforms disassembled as the crews of each ship look intensely at each other, but nod courteously as they sail away. It seems like negotiations are over.
Yeah, because they literally say any guest ships can just kind of go around and do what they please.
So we won, and it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes things will quiet down for a while, says Caduceus. It will pull eyes away from what both sides are attempting to do, Essek mentions as well. War ends, but business continues, and hopes everyone will travel home safe. Bo makes an insight again on Essek this time, and gets an 18 with a whisper. So that was kind of interesting as well. On
all of this as well, the anticlimax almost felt right for it. Because it did. I know it's a kind of nice.
Yeah.
Although I still went to crack.
What did you think about the hope everyone will travel home safe kind of comment? from Essek, because that is very dubious sounding, isn't it? It's just like, oh, I hope everyone travels home safe.
But that could just be the most genuine comment.
Yeah, no.
I think he's just because he's quite a shady guy. It sounds ominous when it's not. He could just say hello, have a nice day, mean it genuinely, and you'd be like, are you planning on murdering me when I'm on my home?
Yeah. So when you have finished what you were doing, come and talk with us. This tangled web these people have made does not exclude himself from it as well. So I think he's kind of happy to maybe, well, not happy, but I think he kind of respects that he has to kind of have something as well.
He needs redemption. I think he knows he wants to try and redeem himself rather than getting done for anything.
Yeah, so big discovery of the episode, Jester realises she has some cupcakes. And she eats one after cutting off some dust. It's very stale, but sweet. And Caduceus decomposes the cut off bit and some fluff. I just imagine it like you like the Chia Pets. Just like one of those. That'd be quite cool. So Caleb has a frown on his face and Bo offers a hug. And he's like, what was that for? And she's like, do I need an occasion? And he's like, no. So they just hug. So the Ford sets the ship on a route to Rumblecusp, the location of Travelercon, and indicates to Orly to go south, as Orly has said that it should help them avoid any potential problems, where they'll avoid like main shipping lanes and pirates and stuff. Yeah. So Bo makes sure that Marius hears that they're making the move and stuff. On day 4, Caduceus sees a piece of land following the ship.
It sounded like the way you first described it was like an island.
Yeah, it's just just a little island, and then it notices it's moving, and it seems to keep it pace.
Travis's greatest fears come true.
Yeah. Basically, Ford realizes what it is, because Ford is history about sea travel is kind of, he knows about a lot of the myths and the creatures of the sea, and he knows what it is. As snout appears, it's a fucking dragon turtle,
which is like a big
it's just very big, but that is the end of episode 99. So episode 100, which I'm probably gonna have to stay up and watch live potentially. See,
I work. It's 5 or 6 a.m, so I can't. It's probably still gonna be on.
It'll be on until about
when I go to work.
7 in the morning. Because we're British, if you can't tell by our accents. So a fucking dragon turtle. I know Travis mentioned that he actually spoke to someone at
a fan
the Chicago Comic Con.
It's pretty C2E2, isn't it? I think it's called. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So they've got a fucking dragon turtle to fight at the start of the next episode.
Which just it's a dragon rather than a turtle as well, which I find the coolest part of it.
It's a gargantuan.
It's basically a sea dragon, isn't it?
Yeah, they're quite neutral, so it's imagine if it's just a thing where Caduceus ends up talking to it and he's like, oh, can we maybe ride your back a little bit?
Do you know what? I would love if they were like, screw the Borley, and we've now got a dragon turtle.
Yeah, they build. They basically build like Grayskull Mark II on top of this shell and fucking use that. If they could
well, they did. They were the land ones. The land turtles they used over in Jordas, weren't it? They had the stuff built on it.
Imagine if they have a watertight castle to build on top of it though, and they just fucking swim around on it like a submarine.
That would be hilarious.
But if you don't know what a dragon turtle is, they're fucking huge. They'll snap a ship in two potentially.
Well, it's a Challenge 17.
Yeah.
Dragon, basically. Yeah. And the fact they're on a ship. If it was just like the party going against it, they could kill it relatively easily. It's the fact that they're on the ship, and the ship could very easily get destroyed in this.
Yeah, it's got an armor class of 20. It's got 341 hit points, which is beefy. Obviously, it's amphibious. They can breathe air and water. I think we worked out this as well as a 50 damage with a few of its attacks.
About 50 damage on its multi-attack.
Yeah, that's kind of nasty.
And the steam breath.
Go on, mention the steam breath.
The dragon turtle exhales scalding steam in a 60-foot cone. Each creature in the area must make a DC 18 Constitution saving throw, or take 52 or 15 D6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Being underwater doesn't grant resistance against this damage.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And it's just nuts.
I mean, luckily most people
really
are around
cool
80 to 100 health, I think, at this point. Around level 10 to 12, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they should be.
So,
do you know what? It would be a really cool homebrew Dragonborn if you could almost do one with a steam breath, like you were more like an aquatic Dragonborn.
Maybe it could be
cool.
like a dragon turtle.
Don't get me started.
That would be so.
Because I had that idea and I was like, that may be taking it too
far.
No,
it's a perfectly legitimate thing, I reckon. When you see how some of the races are kind
Frodo's cousin will be a dragon turtle.
Different family. You're not going to be that related.
It's a cousin. Distant cousin. Yes, I may have to create.
If you want to show up, you're going to have to meet with a dragon.
Well, my character's age, he is near his mating season.
You're the further on in a turtle's age.
Well, he's got a whole new quest now.
Well, there we go. There does happen to be a dragon NPC in my campaign as well. Just to let you know.
I know Frodo's mission now. No one knows who Frodo is.
So. We'll maybe talk about that one day. But
he's the world's greatest character.
I dispute that. But
you'll love him, and you'll miss him when he's not there.
I don't. No.
Yes, you'll miss his clever ways of finding people and his genius intellect.
Yeah, whatever. Right, so who do you think is the most valuable role player of the episode?
Matt.
Yeah?
100% Matt. Matt had so much going on in the episode. Yeah. I don't think many other people did that much roleplay, even though it was quite a roleplay intensive thing.
There was a lot of waiting for things to happen. I did like Caleb and Bo, the whole going over to talk to the Marmot and the Rogan. I thought that was a really well played out scene. Caduceus as always with his little things. That was really cool.
Matt just did a phenomenal job in actually basically going, this is what politics is. There's a lot of waiting around if you're not involved.
Yeah, and it was just the way he described everything as well, with how the
eternal night thing just won it for me.
The river fights as well, going back to when he said about the vines and all that coming out from the diamond and enclosing around the chest of Ford. I just sounds fucking amazing.
That's our god. He's our traveller.
He is. Well, no, I give him more credit than Traveller, because the Traveller, we're not quite sure exactly what he is. So
he's an archphase, basically. Demigod.
Well, maybe we can up Matt a little bit more. So. Yeah, I totally with him on that. I think everyone played a pretty well part in that, apart from Matt, who was just deep in every situation, having to be the NPCs and done it so well. The way he described all the negotiations, because there was moments where even though they'd ended okay on the first day, it was still what's going to happen on the next one, especially when he says as the Bright Queen.
He kept you in constant suspense because we all assumed something terrible would happen.
And it was just the way.
And my suspicion of a Kraken didn't come true, but a dragon turtle I'll take.
Yeah. And it was another thing with when he was doing the Bright Queen, when she replies to Jester and she's not going poorly yet. Yes. And the way he worded it was just oh shit. It was proper keep you on your toes and stuff, and it was just what's going to happen? How bad is this going to get?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so, Matt Mercer, the first 2-time winner of the MVRP.
We salute you.
Yes, Gold Award. I think that's pretty much it for this episode. It's been a bit of a long one this time.
It's been a long one.
What do you think about the next episode? Where do you think that's going? Obviously, potential fight.
Well, it's going to be 100, so for a start, I assume they're going to do something special with the room. Mm-hmm. Sam's going to be more insane than normal before we even start.
Yes. More teeth on show.
Oh, God. And, it's going to be planning for TravelCon, potentially a bit of waiting around then. I assume
I think the first half of the episode is going to be the Dragon Turtle setting up. And then I think the second half is going to be TravelCon.
Oh, wouldn't it be great if they set up the actual studio as TravelCon for...
Oh, I've just had an even better idea. What if they kill this dragon turtle and then hollow it out and use the shell as the meeting point for TravelCon by the volcano? Almost like a welcome room. Imagine people showing up and they're inside a massive shell.
Right. Do you realise how big it is? Because dragging that shell...
Well, obviously they're not going to drag it, but maybe they can control water a bit to move it up the shore a little bit and have it as like a monument or something, as the power of the traveller.
Sure.
Oh, imagine because they did camp inside a shell, I think, didn't they, when they were up north?
That was
one of the large tortoise creatures that were native to.
Yeah, that was when the rock was attacking and stuff like that.
But maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I do kind of wonder as well if there's going to be like a volcano setting off as well, because they're meeting in a fucking volcano.
Yes, they've literally set themselves up for DM's dream of there's so many different things that go on.
It's going to be an episode of just keeping everyone on their toes. So,
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for listening. If you've managed to listen this far, that's well fucking done. And we will catch you next time.